I don't want to rule or conquer anyone. I should like to help everyone if possible. Jew, Gentile, black man, white. We all want to help one another. Human beings are like that.
Another one straight away.
And then I'm gonna be like, hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the At Random podcast. If you haven't heard the voice yet, it is me, it is I, it is moi, it's Andy. I'm back, bitches. And I'm here to say,
Like even Discord thinks you're like annoyingly with that because it cuts you out.
My Discord loves me. It's full of gay porn somehow. It's like, I don't know what it is, but whatever I touch on my computer is just jack full of gay porn.
Yeah, that just describes you. You're a filthy person.
Whoa, that is... So you're saying straight porn is not filthy, but gay porn is?
All porn is
That's
filthy.
homophobic.
Whoa,
That's the point of porn.
Cancel that
homophobic.
bitch. Cancel her.
Cancelled. That is the worst thing ever said on this show.
No, it's not.
The point of
It's
porn is to
actually
be
not.
filthy.
So hey, ladies and gentlemen, I'm finally back after working my ass off every day for like a good solid month. I'm happy to be back, and I listened to the episode, by the way, you guys did.
Mm-hmm.
I thought it was awesome. Like I didn't even know that was part of Chile. Like that was somewhere near Chile, right? Where you were born?
Yeah, where the whole rescue was.
Yeah.
In Chile.
Yeah.
Did you say where I was born?
What?
Did you no? What?
Weren't you born
I don't know.
in Chile and then somehow
No.
migrated with birds or something like that? Wasn't that a thing?
Yeah, the stork dropped her off here.
No.
Oh, your
I was
parents
born
are
here.
from Chile.
Yeah,
But you never were there.
I've been
So
there,
you
but I'm
can't
not from there.
say you're Chilean. You can't say that anymore now. You're Swedish.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I've always said that I'm Swedish,
But
but I've
she's-
Chilean culture.
Yeah,
because
she's
that's
like,
true.
you know when you go to Asia and you buy the like fake Nike
Oh, fuck.
and fake Adidas clothes?
She's
It's
like-
like it's
she's
probably
like-
made in the exact
she's
same
like
factory.
She's the wish
But-
version of Chile.
Yeah, like it's like the B stock from the factory, and that's kind of what she is.
That's
The
actually
Wish
an awesome
version.
way to
The
describe people
Wish.
like that. The wish version of a certain culture.
Fuck off.
Hey, I'm an immigrant. I'm allowed
But
to say things like this.
I just thought it was like it was damaging to me how fast, like how slowly they went to cannibalism. Like I would snap in cannibalism if like lights go out in my house. That's like snap cannibalism. Let's go.
Yep.
That's like why wait that long? Why wait until you're almost dead?
Yeah, they waited like what was it 2 or 3 weeks or something?
They waited
10
a
days.
long time.
Oh. And they were eating like one salted peanut a day each.
Yeah, it's
or
like-
something like
It's like you have to realize that, you know, because I'd be worried about the bodies going bad.
yeah. At least it
It's
was
like-
cold, right? It
it's-
was a
yeah.
freezer outside, so it was alright.
But I was
Nature
like,
was helping
man,
them out.
I missed on so many things during that conversation. I was like, I was putting myself in that position, and I was like, one peanut a day, man, that wouldn't happen. That wouldn't happen. The best idea I did have was somehow I made it into my head that it was just me and Ali being stranded on top of that mountain. That would have been so awesome. So like a helicopter comes in, jug, 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 and just me, Ali's doing something. She doesn't know that the helicopter's coming. And I'm like having such a good time with Ali there that I'm like, no, we're fine. Just fuck off. Fuck off. And then
No, and Ali, she'll
Yeah.
fall off the side of the fucking mountain.
It would have been so awesome. Yeah, but I didn't know it was actually that the Andes were so close to Chile and shit like that. I've always figured that story was somehow related to America because of the cannibalism. Like, I don't to say anything with
See,
that.
basically what you're saying, you suck at geography. Like,
He comes from a country where they can't even choose what language they want to speak. You think he understands what the rest of the world does?
Yeah,
to
no,
speak
but
different
I was
language
like-
and decided on which side of the river you live on.
Yeah.
No,
Like,
but
which
it's
side
mostly
of the
because
bank.
my first contact with that story was because of the movie, and they spoke English in the movie, so I generally figured out in my head.
Yeah,
that
because it's
this happens in America.
Americanized.
Yeah, but plus also, you know, when you hear such extreme measurements to certain things, you immediately think America. Let's not forget the thing like, what was it again? Like, Patterson, fire a warning shot. But sir, this is an M42 grenade launcher. Potato, fire the damn warning shot, Patterson. I mean, you know, when you think of extreme measurements, you think somehow of America and shit like that. And maybe it's just because I saw the movie in English. I don't know. But like
Probably.
it was good episodes though. Like it was like
Or maybe it's just the cement finally going to your brain,
yeah, probably
having an influence.
Probably, but
and all
we've
the
known
harsh
that.
chemicals.
We've known
So
that
you
for a
can't
long
watch any historic movie just because they're in English. So you thought that Alexander the Great spoke English too back when he conquered
that was the
the
fucking
world.
thing. That was a fucking thing.
And he thinks that Thor speaks English too.
The whole Gladiator movie for me, like Russell Crowe, was just like, why is every Roman was like, I went to Rome and I spoke to English against. Nobody speaks English in Rome.
No.
They all speak Italian for some reason. I just
Yeah.
threw my copy of The Gladiator on the ground in center of Rome in the Colosseum and it was like, lies! But that's just how I am.
Yeah, it's always sad when history doesn't match up with the film it was based on.
What Hollywood? Wait, did you say history doesn't match up with the movie
Yeah, with the film it was based on. It's always sad. It really is.
So fucking stupid.
That's the point, Batman. You ever heard of sarcasm?
Yeah.
I know you're
No.
not a funny lady, but like, come
Shut
on.
up.
Well, anyway, so because I was thinking like, what episode can I do this week, and I was thinking like maybe I should do something with the move. You know, I moved to a new place, like we talked about it and shit like that, and I had this fun idea of going on Reddit and finding shit that people found in new houses, because like there's always, you see those videos pass by and shit.
There has to be at least one where they found like 5 hobos living in like the air duct or something, and they wondered why their like pantry kept getting lighter.
I
every night.
remember reading one story that was about a very odd smell. Like they had a smell. I didn't put it in there, but they had a situation where there was like a very stinky fucking thing. And what actually happened was they, after I think like 2 or 3 months living with like rotten corpse smell, they went up into this vent where there was this raccoon that got in but couldn't get out, and it just died there. And it was basically blowing all this, like all the rotten corpse smell into the house.
Yeah.
And it would have been bloated as fuck.
Yeah, and yeah, oh yeah, and the shitty thing was because they were trying to use that vent to air out the house, so they were like, "Oh God, just fucking put on the vent and just corpse smell
How
into
did
the
it
house."
take 2 months to correlate that? Every time we open the vent, it stinks more.
Because it kept stinking no matter what. Because it's
when animals die up in like the roof cavity and stuff, it's horrible.
Yeah, I'm not gonna go into details about the story, but I know what a corpse smells like, and I like this story. Don't laugh. I genuinely know what a corpse smell is.
It's a time when he was hanging out in the morgue at the orgy.
At the orgy, yeah. There's a movie based on that as well, I think. But I know what corpse. It's genuinely something you pick up on immediately. Anything could be dying anywhere, like in my vicinity. I would smell it. I would immediately I'd immediately be able to tell you something's dead here. Like
It's a sweet, rotten smell. It's quite particular.
It's sweet. There's a hint of metallic in there, but it's not that gets you. It's like this. It's a very specific. I can't
Putrid
describe
smell.
it. It's just, yeah. You walk in and you fucking know that something's dead. And it's not even like funeral home smell as well. Like that's just stale fucking air. That's like sterile fucking air. Like
Yeah, it's
corpse
just the
smell
smell
is,
of old people.
yeah, it's death. Like the smell of fucking
Death is coming, but it's not quite there yet.
But
Yeah.
death has a certain smell. You can smell it, and it's horrible when you walk into like older old folk homes. Like
Yeah.
you can just sometimes
Yeah.
in bad ones you can smell it. And
And then
it's
Ali
horrible.
walks up to somebody and just says, "I can smell you're gonna die."
and then just grabs the pillow.
Yeah.
I'm like,
Okay,
Let me
I'd-
help you.
fair enough.
Fair enough. Yeah.
all right, let's go.
All right, so number one that I found is Reddit user Eagle206 wrote that a friend who worked at an old school discovered a fully furnished apartment from the early 1900s when they had to repair a leaky pipe. And the apartment that they found was like fully stocked with furniture, everything there. The couches, it had a stove, it had like all sorts of shit. And you might wonder, like, what's that doing in the school? Well, basically, it was a closed-off section that used to be used for the caretaker of the school to live in.
Mm-hmm.
But as, like, time progressed and shit like that, like, people started living in their own homes and the caretaker's living location wasn't needed anymore. But that was hidden inside of the walls in the school, and everybody just seemed to have forgotten about it, that there was this fully functioning apartment there.
Man, imagine if someone just did a shit and just walked out and never flushed for like 50 years. It was just sitting there.
Yeah, I think as you walk in, that shit would probably just jump out of the toilet. Just start walking around and shit like that.
You know what I've wanted to do to someone I hate?
What?
I've always thought about how long it would take them to work out. Well, you know how normally on like a toilet, it has like the top bit with the water reservoir where you
Yeah.
can take the lid off?
Yeah.
Like, what if you shat in there and then put the lid back on? How long would it take them to find out that you did a shit in the toilet but in the wrong part?
I can tell you a story about that, but
You've told
I
that
don't know.
story before.
I did?
When you shat your pants
Yeah!
and stacked them in there. I
Alright.
think it was exactly like a year ago on the drunk episode. Wasn't it that
Oh,
when you told
probably,
that?
Yeah. I shat on my fucking boxers and hid it in a bar inside of the
In the like water
and it was
system.
gone. It was
Toilet.
gone too.
Yeah.
Like after a while, it was gone. Like I went back to check. I went to that bar specifically to check that bin, and it was gone. Somebody had to clean up my shitty boxers.
Jesus Christ.
What are you gonna do?
Top
Can't-
citizen.
Can't
Citizen
walk
of the year.
Can't walk
Hey,
around.
you,
Well,
you shat in a kindergarten, okay?
No, it was a primary school.
Whoa. Wait, what?
Thank you.
You shat in a
No, it-
kindergarten?
Yeah, but it was summer vacation.
Is it
no,
like
no, or it was a weekend? No, it was a
dominating
weekend.
sort of thing? Like a kid was staring at
No,
you
no,
and
it
you
was a
just sat down in
weekend
front of
and-
it?
No, it was a weekend. My friend, the Cricket World Cup was on or something, and it was like a break in the match. So it was my friend's house there. We'd all been drinking beers all day.
Yeah.
And you know when you just get that shit that just comes and you're like, I got to go like now.
Yeah.
There is
Yeah,
no holding this.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
like,
yeah.
So of course I go to the toilet block, but you know, it's the weekend, it's closed.
Yeah.
So I'm like, well, fuck. Like, I got to go. Like, so I found a quiet spot hidden somewhere and just had to do what you have to do, you know?
Wait, was this like in the open? Or did you
Yeah,
use
yeah.
one of those small toilets, like those kiddie-sized toilets?
No. This was outside. Like, out the back on some
fuck.
grassy area and behind a tree.
Oh, come on now, Alex.
Yeah, but dude, like, I had to go. There was no waiting to walk 10 minutes back to my friend's house.
To somebody that found that, you were a homeless drunk.
No, I
For
went and
sure.
took care of that. I took care of it.
Wait, you clean it up?
Yeah, I went back the next day and it was still there, and I was like, I feel really bad. I need to
Nah, that's just weak.
go-
I think you should have
go
left
get
it.
rid of this.
You went back?
Yeah.
Yeah, with, like doggy bags.
Hey, I don't want some 5-year-old kid be like, oh, the big dog did a shit here.
You know what?
You can
Oh,
tell
man,
the
that was
difference
me.
between dog shit and
A
human
5-year-old
feces.
kid doesn't know. They're fucking morons. They like sniff glue and eat fucking crayons. Like, come on.
Why have dog shit stopped turning white, by the way?
They've stopped turning white?
Do you remember? Yeah, do you remember like the old-fashioned dog shits that turned white after a while? It's like
Yeah,
this
the good old days.
powdery, yeah, it was like powdery white. Now that doesn't happen anymore. Like now, dog shit stays brown and or like dark or whatever.
Probably because of stuff we put in their food.
I
They're
think
probably
so.
actually eating healthier than back in the day. They were just buying.
But I don't know
whatever.
how we got on
Maybe.
this topic.
Yeah.
We should
Well-
probably go back.
All right. Well, finding pine cones in the attic usually signals a big problem with your roof, But in the case of Reddit user R12356, it meant something different. When they went about insulating their attic, the contractor discovered an additional portion of the attic that was sealed off. Now, after opening that off, they discovered 15 boxes of pine cones. They presumed the pine cones were collected for crafting projects. In another part of the home, behind a piece of drywall coming off the wall, there laid a vintage toys from the 1950s. They could have made some money from that. Yep.
Cool.
In another case, there was a new homeowner in Berkshire, in the United Kingdom, and he discovered a Bible from the 18th century in their attic.
Oh, shit.
That wasn't the only surprise. In the back of the Bible, the early owners had written their history. Now, the village church dates back to the 12th century and kept records of people, so the homeowners were able to track down the descendants of the Bible and had given them the Bible back. So that's
nice. I wouldn't have bothered. I would have been like, fuck this trash. Throw it away.
There's one coming up that actually I would have been like, fuck off. I'm selling this shit. But this one is about a sort of creepy found that was a funeral parlor 100 years ago. But the new owners, they didn't find anything too creepy, but they did find an additional room after a pipe broke. And this was according to Reddit user KnitVicky. The homeowners found hundreds of old bottles, old equipment, chemicals, perfumed, like salts and stained glass windows from the original building, along with the business books from the funeral parlor. And the owners eventually turned over most items to an antique shop owner. Man, I would have... If you find old shit, man, just fucking sell it. Sell it.
Yeah, finders keepers. Never try to find the original owner.
No,
just sell
exactly. They won't give you enough.
If they cared about it, they would have taken it with them.
Exactly. Another Reddit user, Graham TG21, reports that after moving into his new house, they found around 14,000 behind $1. Just bills like $14,000. Apparently, the previous owner did not believe in banks and like finding
sounds like my grandfather.
Toilet. Yeah,
I found $50,000 once in my grandparents' house.
50,000?
Yeah, I'd never seen a man more angry in my life.
Oh yeah, well,
because it was like the place we weren't supposed to be. But he was like an old Greek man, so he never trusted banks. So he had 50 grand cash in a briefcase.
Jesus.
And I have never seen anyone that angry ever in my life. It's just like, if you ever fucking tell anyone about it, or if you ever like go back up there, I'm gonna like beat the shit out of you. Get the fuck out of here. You didn't see this. And like, all right, okay. Yeah. He wasn't fucking around.
Yeah, well, with 50,000, I mean, I wouldn't fuck around as well. Yeah, 50,000 is a lot, but finding what somebody else was finding was a $10,000 piano in their new home. Now, it's a little bit different story. Redditor Crispy Apple Pie found an antique piano in their home. It was like this 20th century house that could have fetched for around 10,000 if it were in better condition, by the way. I checked the backstory. It wasn't in that good of a condition. But it's still, like, it's an awesome
you
find.
You still get money.
Yeah,
I think
so.
Who is leaving this shit behind?
I don't know.
Like most people, if you own a piano, you're not just like, oh, I'm going to leave the whole bloody piano here.
I feel like that's just something that either they move and they're like, oh, we still have to go get a piano. But then life happens, somebody dies, whatever. You know, I think it's something like that.
But aren't there like agreements when you buy a house? So like basically it like has to be empty, or you can like charge the previous owner if there's still shit.
Maybe it was that.
If someone's dead.
Yeah, but they're family. The bank will chase them up for money, so why can't you?
Yeah.
I'm just saying, like, if someone left shit in my house that I just bought, I'd be like, fuck off and pick it up, you dickhead. I'm not. Sure, if I can make money out of it, but if it's like just trash.
It depends what type of house you buy. Like in some places, it's like, especially with death houses, like people that die and don't have any family. They sell them usually at a lower price, but then you have to clean up everything that is in it. But it's worth it for some people because you get it for a less
I guess they're selling like the whole estate, right? So you're getting everything. You're not just getting a house.
Yeah.
You're getting like all the belongings and whatever.
I guess
Different thing.
And some pianos are really big and you have to like blow out a window and stuff like that. You have to think about it.
Yeah, but I mean, they got it in there somehow.
Yeah, but maybe they got it in before like they actually built the roof or something.
Should have thought about that before you built the roof then.
Wait,
people didn't do that back in the day.
Who drops in a piano from the roof? You do know that any piano can be like, it has to be set up. It isn't just one piece. They don't carve a piano out of a tree trunk or anything. It's like separate pieces.
Old pianos you can't really disassemble them.
Yes, you can. I've done it.
Yeah, but good luck putting them back together.
It's not that hard. They're big fucking pieces.
Yeah, have you ever been to IKEA? They even give you the instructions.
I'm talking about old pianos.
If you ever buy a piano, if you ever buy an old piano, go to IKEA. I'm sure that's the shop you need.
Yeah. You know what, ladies and gentlemen, if you want to see a piano get reassembled, if you pay for the piano, I will attempt to disassemble it and put it back together.
No.
But you got to pay for it.
I would like to see that because there's some like hidden things about pianos. Like
I never said it has to work. I said I'll put it back together. There's two different things. It's and like you can have a car with four wheels and technically it moves, but the engine is fucking like exploded. It doesn't matter.
If the four wheels are on. If the four wheels are on the hood, the four wheels are still on. It still counts as being a car. It just doesn't drive.
Exactly.
Yeah,
exactly.
I know where you're coming from. All right, so what would you do if you found a medicine cabinet in your new house, and out at the very back of the cabinet you see a small slit, and then there's a logo around that slit. There's like an opening, a small opening. What do you think that would be for? Because one Reddit user has found exactly that in their medicine cabinet.
That is 100% where they stashed the Quaaludes.
That could be a good place to hide the Quaaludes, but it's not for that.
Heroin.
No. It's actually...
Money.
No. It's actually used for razor blades. This Reddit user, Bella Pace, she found out when trying to repair a busted pipe that was running behind the cabinet, and they found several handfuls of razor blades and later discovered that mid-century modern bathrooms often have a slot for razors in the back of their medicine cabinets.
Do you know what these stories are all telling me? Is that everyone that buys a house and then when a water pipe bursts, you just find out you have more shit in your house than you thought. Like every one of these is like, after a water pipe broke. After a water pipe broke.
Yeah, but actually it's usually with that because like there's no other reason for opening a wall, I guess.
Tear down the wall. Well, I mean, maybe you're bored and destructive, but
yeah. This is a fun little one that actually when I first read it, I was like, man, that's not that like fucking special or anything like that. But it turned out it's somewhat at least I found the reason why they kept it. Somebody inside an old cigarette box, a Reddit user, discovered a ticket to the 1934 World Fair in Chicago, along with a number of old stamps, and it's a pretty neat to have that keepsake. But at first I was like, what the fuck is important about the 1930s? So I looked it up, and actually the 1933 World Fair was all about it was the 100-year existence of Chicago's, and was under the name A Century of Progress, and it ran from 1833 to 1933. So 1833 is when Chicago started. The motto of that fair was science finds, industry applies, man adapts. The thing was, it was one of the most visited fairs in the history of the World Fair that is being held in Chicago. So much so that it had around 22 million visitors, and they had to do it twice. And that's where this ticket comes in, because this ticket is actually from the 1934 one. So it's actually from the second time they had to redo it. So that's what I thought, like, made it a little bit coolios. All right, so another Reddit user reported that they found a CIA idea badge, cryptography business cards, and other CIA-related materials from inside a broken lock of their home. Now, the find triggered a more thorough search of the home, and later the resident found a World War II explosive round under the floorboards.
Jesus.
They like bought a safe house?
I think so. Yeah.
Jesus.
I mean, they must exist somewhere, and at one point, like, even CIA agents don't get to live, forever. So
imagine, but then you find that out, and then you're like, thank God we're not still in the Cold War. Like, one day a Russian's going to come knocking on my fucking door. Like KGB thinking I'm the CIA and like
I think one of the more awesome purchases is like, here we have public sellings of houses. I think those are the most interesting houses to buy, because they're actually like houses that are confiscated from drug lords or from mob bosses, or like, the crazy shit in the world.
Yep.
And they sell them to the public because they can't pay them off for whatever reason. And like, you can have like awesome like spare rooms. Yeah. I mean, formerly little fucking Chelsea's kitty room was formerly a torture room for some mob guy, but hey,
yeah.
It's an extra room. Like, you don't get to have that. So,
and when she misbehaves, you got all your tools there, right? You're like, they were already provided with the home.
There
Put
you
her
go.
up on the rack.
Just a little polish, just a little
Give it a couple
WD-40.
Cranks.
Yeah. Just,
you don't need those fingernails.
God.
They'll grow back. It's fine.
Yeah, they grow back. It's no worries.
Another Reddit user lived in a home as a kid that once housed a general store along with a hidden hooch room because of the prohibition. The prohibition, yeah. The general store was in the basement, and the hooch room was located beneath the basement stairs. There was a pulley system set up so that if someone entered the general store, the hooch room couldn't be seen during Prohibition. The poster also found old leather breastplates, helmets, and horse harness in the garage, all of which were used as a part of the first volunteer fire department in his area. And later, they also found Civil War era bayonets and a flag and like an old atlas and shit like that.
Dude, this person better have started LARPing after finding all that gear.
Oh yeah, had to. Him and his horse, wife.
Giddy up, bitch. Let's go.
Yeah, just put the horse armor on your wife. That'll be fun. The next one is the one I was talking about that I would not have but they did it, the fucking dumbass. Now, this other Reddit user moved into their new home and they received an unusual request from the real estate agent. The previous owners had misplaced a wedding ring and a search turned up nothing. But a few years later, after cleaning the top of the kitchen cabinets, the ring appeared, and the new owners tracked down the precious owners and returned the ring. The previous owners and returned the ring. I wouldn't have done that. I would have sold that shit like a motherfucker.
How does a ring end up on top of the kitchen cabinet?
Well, before the woman comes that you're gonna cheat with, you put your ring on top of the kitchen cabinet so she doesn't know you're married. You turn around all the pictures in the house, close the blinds, and
go to a motel because it's fucking cheaper and less effort.
Actually, yeah, that's a.
How is a motel cheaper than my own home? I already pay for my home.
Well, if you're gonna fucking turn upside down your home and then lose your wedding ring.
Yeah, I don't know how that could. How does that happen? It must have been put there for some reason, though.
Imagine explaining why your wedding ring, someone from a motel is calling about a wedding ring they found in the room.
Oh, yeah, actually, that's true.
Like if he obviously, was it a guy's ring or the female, the wife?
I didn't say which one it was.
Well, they had a fight and maybe someone threw the ring.
Or maybe we're going with a cheating story, and maybe he said he was divorced, and so he took off the ring and placed it up there. And then when she came in, but there's pictures of your wife and kids, and he's like, I know, I just haven't had time to put it all down.
Exactly. And you think men don't remember stuff?
Yeah.
Like, honestly, yeah, sure, it's a very important thing, but you could still eat, especially if you put it in a spot that's not a normal place to put something. You're not going to remember it's there.
Put it on and stop fidgeting with it.
You want me to put it up on top of the kitchen cabinet? Is that what you said? I can take my ring here and put it up on the kitchen cabinet. We'll see if I remember that it's there. Bet you I won't.
Anyway. Somebody found a revolver in a closet as well. Now, it's strange enough to find a gun in your new home, like one Reddit user wrote, but even stranger is finding out the gun's history. The Reddit user who found the gun turned it over to the police, who ran the serial number, and police said the gun was stolen in a home burglary in 1973. The Reddit user discovered the gun in 1998, so for more than 10 years.
Jeez, that's actually like 25 years.
Yeah, 25 years, yeah.
Jeez, it's a quarter century.
Yep. And then,
man, that guy should have just gone out there and started robbing stores.
Yeah, of course, that's what you do.
Oh, this gun turned up after 25 years. Who used it? We don't know. They never found it, clearly. That guy, he missed a chance to commit crime.
And then, like, the police starts finding the bullets from that old gun. And then you give that gun to somebody else who does another
like armed robbery.
Armed robbery, yeah, like a couple of cities away, and they're like, "Wait, but this gun, it's going all over the place." And then
it's everywhere.
All of a sudden, yeah, it's everywhere. And that's the story that you can make a movie from. And cannibalism should be in it too. All right, finding a lone doll in an attic will send anyone's hair on end, but finding an attic full of dolls' heads is like downright fucking spooky.
Especially there's like old ones where like they didn't really get
and it
the
was exactly
right.
that. But that is exactly what one Reddit user found in their new home. They opted to leave them there, following the old adage of letting sleeping dogs lie. Yeah.
Well, I think it's only been like the last 10 years where we've like perfected making dolls not look like they're gonna be soulless and kill you.
Yeah, but that's the thing though. These weren't just dolls; they were doll heads, and it wasn't just one. It was literally they were scattered all over.
You know what I got in my mind? You know that evil was his name, Spike or some shit from Toy Story, the kid next door that put like the doll head on the robot spider things.
Yeah.
Like that kid.
It's like one eye closed, the other eye open.
Yeah.
It's like like winking at you 24/7.
World's best brother.
Now, next one. When a Reddit user attempted to investigate a smell coming from their attic, they got more than they bargained for. As they climbed the ladder to the attic, they were greeted by a 6 or 7 foot stuffed doll. They called it the biggest voodoo doll ever and tried moving it around, but the stuffing made it too heavy to move, and it was covered in dust. 6 or fucking 7 foot.
What? Yeah, you know for sure they were praying for someone to be dead. With that,
it was either
they
that
were doing
or,
all sorts of magic.
It was either that or like a Ed Gein style fucking sex puppet, maybe. It's 6 or 7 feet. That's not a small fucking puppet.
And maybe it was heavy because it was pregnant.
Egg with more voodoo dolls.
Yeah. Yes. Exactly. It had like octuplets in there. That's why it was so heavy.
Could you impregnate somebody with voodoo magic, like from a distance?
Allie's the local witch.
Yeah.
So, what do you reckon?
I'm not a witch.
You're not a witch, but you're a bruja. That's a witch.
But I don't practice. So I don't know.
You literally said to me the other day, I'm awakened.
Yeah. I think that
that was because she got out of bed.
No, No, but some stuff have started to happen.
Yeah.
And I said that I think in a sense, I'm awakening, that my senses are awakening.
Okay.
But I don't know anything because I don't practice or read about it, really.
Is that why you said I was haunted? Like,
I think she sees
right
dead people.
before this show started, you told me I was haunted, living in a new fucking house, being at ease for the first weekend in 30 days' time. You get to talk to your friend and she tells you you're haunted.
That did actually happen as well.
That did
It's
happen.
not even a lie.
I'm
Just
just
before we started
saying.
recording, Andy did a shit.
Yeah.
He was
I went to take
AFK
a
and Ali's
poop.
just like, can you hear that? I'm like, what? She's like, Andy. I'm like, he's not there. And she's like, no, but don't you hear that? And I was like, no.
Did you just
like,
hear
oh,
in
you
the
can hear
distance
stuff.
me going,
No, it was static.
No. Okay. Well, I'll accept
It could
it
have
for what it
been
is.
just your headphones like somehow reacting to our voices, like going through the mic. It could have
Maybe,
been that.
yeah.
Or it's just your schizophrenia, Batman.
It's not
Coming up
schizophrenia when
again?
I'm literally seeing going off on the screen.
Didn't go off. I'm looking on my screen.
Yeah, but you also said that you don't really care or look, so. But anyway, no, I don't know. Probably not.
Yeah, I think like voodoo and hoodoo is like, it's fucked up. It's the only thing I'm scared of. If somebody tells me they're doing voodoo or hoodoo, that's the only magic or form of magic. I mean, the other magic is fine. You got like masturbation sigils and shit like that, or sigils and shit like that. You don't know that, Ali? You're giving me the face?
No.
You don't know about masturbation magic?
No, but any magic can be dark. Depends who does it and what their intentions are.
Yeah, but that's the thing that they use. Like, intent is a very big thing with masturbation magic, but it isn't genuine fucking thing.
I gotta
Never
check
heard
this
of it.
out.
Yeah,
'Cause,
you have
I thought
to
at
check
first as
this
well you
out.
said like masturbation signals. Like, what is it? Like a smoke signal? The guy just starts wanking,
it's
like
not
jizzing in the air to get her
throwing
attention.
cum in the air. It's not that. It's literally it's masturbating, but because like sexuality is so close to magical rites and shit like that. Because that's the thing. Like, sex is a way. Anthony LaVey was way into that. Like, sex is it opens a sort of portal towards spirituality and shit like that. And that's why there's a lot of fucking in satanic rituals as well. There's also, haven't found a nun to piss in a pot somewhere. I think that was on another episode as well.
Yeah.
I've been trying to talk to my local priest, but apparently, I have to stay 10 feet away from him. But yeah, haven't found
Is that just because you have kids with you all the time? So he's actually got to stay away from you? Got him!
Oh, by the way, Ali, do you know what a reverse exorcism is?
Do I want to hear this?
It's when Satan tells the priest to leave the child's body. All right, well...
Hey.
A Reddit user got a bombshell of a shock when they found an actually unexploded UW2 parachute bomb. They called it in the bomb squad, collected it, and detonated it on a range later. So they actually found like a parachute bomb. These things are fucking big, by the way. These aren't small fucking bombs.
Imagine finding a bomb, like a old as fuck bomb in your home. You're like, I've been living here. This could have like... If I just smacked the floorboard too hard, like, could have fucking boom.
But dude, you know Belgium has been, like, bombed by the Germans to a motherfucking crisp, right?
If you ask me, they didn't bomb it enough, but...
we still to this day, and this is no bullshit, we still to this day, when farmers are plowing their fields and they're, preparing
Working
to plant new crops, they still have to be careful because there's still unearthed bombs laying in the grounds. Like, that's an annual dangerous fucking thing for the farmers in Belgium. Like, a bomb squad here in Belgium actually gets called up quite a bit.
So when are they going to add that DLC to Farming Simulator 21? Like the Belgium edition. You're like fucking plowing along your field and fucking boom! Oh, you lose. Game over.
That would be so cool. That would be so cool. But to combine the religious aspect a little bit with the war aspect that we've already talked about a couple of times, A Reddit user long ago discovered a gold-leafed Bible believed to have belonged to a soldier from around the 1864. The poster found the Bible back in 1976 on a beam on an open wall of a garage as a kid, and it's kept the Bible since then. The Bible has an inscription from the soldier's sister. Now, this is an actual thing. It's a pocket Bible. There was this edition of pocket Bibles, specific pocket Bibles they made for soldiers to carry with them to war. And this is exactly what he found.
Good.
Another Redditor went about work in their garden when they discovered a gold wedding band while using a rotary hoe. The homeowner contacted the real estate agent about finding and learned an incredible story. The ring belonged to the previous owner's late husband, who had died 5 years earlier. It turned out that he lost the ring on his first day they moved into the house 45 years ago.
Jesus.
So the first day that somebody moves in, he lost the ring. Then the next owner comes in and within the first week he finds the wedding band.
Man, see this shit. Do they have a date on when they found that wedding band? Was it like a few years ago?
I think it was 1945.
Oh shit!
And then like 45 years later,
in
so
1990-ish?
Yeah, 90-ish sort of years.
These stories will never happen again. I'm going to tell you why. Because of video games. If they've taught me anything, if I see something and no one else has taken it, I'm taking it. I don't care if it's a fucking like empty fucking can of beans. Yeah. Definitely anything that's gold. I'm looting the shit out of that. I'm taking it.
Yeah,
it's mine.
Of course.
And gamers would never give up their loot ever.
Never.
So we will never have these stories moving forward. Because kids are being taught from a young age, you find it, you keep it.
Because people used to be kind, now we're just smart. We think about ourselves more often. We're like,
you know what?
That. If that's 50 euros for me to like sell that wedding band somewhere, then you do it.
And hey, man, I've seen porn stars. You know that website? Not the website. You know that porn, the auction show where they're like every fucking you go there and you'll be like, hey man, this is like really cool. I'm gonna get my guy that knows a thing, and all of a sudden I'm gonna make like $10,000.
Wait,
all of this old stuff is always worth a lot of money.
Auction?
Not porn.
Pawn. PAWN, like a auction, old like second hand.
Okay, pawn. Okay,
yeah.
Jesus. I was like, what do they sell there?
I heard
like
porn
gold.
too.
That's how we say it.
Yeah.
In it's very similar. Porn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the thing.
But
I've lived with this one for so long.
Sweden so long. Yeah. He's the Wish version of an Australian. Maybe that's
yeah.
It's more that you need to get used to the
correct English, not the American English.
the accent.
Hey, got him.
You don't speak the correct English. Australian
we speak
is
more
nothing.
correct than the English than the Americans.
It's not mate. I mean, there's no you call a Jeep a ute.
Yeah.
We invented pickups. They were invented in Australia, so what we call them is what they're fucking called. Americans then took them and started calling them pickups because they're fucking retards. Because they're like, we pick up the Mexicans in the back of these, so they're called pickups.
For some reason, you have these beer coolers and you call them stubby coolers.
Stubby
it doesn't
holder.
even make any fucking sense.
It does, because a glass bottle of beer is called a stubby.
It's not. It's called a glass.
It's short and fat.
It's not.
It is.
Or an esky.
And we got long necks, the like 750 milliliter size bottles of beer.
It's still a fucking bottle. It's not, it doesn't need to have any other name. That's why you don't speak.
It does. It's how you differentiate them.
Tell the American people that you guys are fucked because you're a bunch of criminals. It's not even proven yet that Australia's real to this day. So
it's true. I'm a very good actor.
Yeah. But
still,
anyway,
Americans can't say it. They didn't originate the language. Like, they can't even speak it.
No, the best story ever was my wife's like partner. No, my uncle's partner. Jesus Christ, I'm having a good day today.
Your wife?
Yeah, no. My uncle's partner. She's British. She's from London, and when she was in the US, they asked her if they speak English in England, and she was like, "What? do you speak English in England? And she was like, English, England. What the fuck do you think? We invented it, you fucking moron. Oh my god, when she told me that, I could not stop laughing.
No. And Bendela Creme
But she was like, they were like somewhere in the south. They were in like Florida or something.
Yeah.
So obviously they're a bit special
Makes
down
sense. That
Well,
makes
if
sense.
anyone out
that
there
is a
knows,
Florida
in
story.
Bendela Creme's words, excuse me, we originated the language. And that's for all my Drag Race fans out there, if anyone gets that reference.
there. I certainly don't.
Yeah, but you're an idiot.
Well, weapons cache. You never know what you'll find in an old house, and you can imagine the surprise of finding more than 100 weapons and thousands of rounds of ammo inside walls, cupboards, and behind boards. And that is a Redditor's relative experienced when they moved into a late 19th century or early 18th century home. It was handguns like shotguns, automatic
preppers.
rifles. Yeah, it was a lot. The next one would have been so awesome if I found it. If you want to make money, this Redditor's sibling purchased a home of a childhood neighbor and began some some redoing work. They soon discovered a first edition copy of Mary Shelley's Frankenstein, autographed by the author.
That's
so
cool.
they had a book appraised, but they had a book appraised by an antique book dealer who authenticated it. And the neighbors traveled extensively, and it's believed they picked up the book on a trip to Europe. When they returned, they hid the book instead of locking it up in a safe deposit box at a bank. The previous owners grew up during the Depression and likely didn't trust banks, so that's why it was hidden in the house.
Damn, that would be worth a bit.
Yeah.
I mean, I didn't say like how much it like they could have gotten it for, but like I think it's a pretty fucking penny. Like it's a first edition and it's signed by the actual author. Like, I mean, it doesn't get much better than that. A Reddit poster reported that a former tenant of one of their properties worked as a plumber, and one of his jobs was replacing the toilets of Van Morrison. The plumber kept the old toilet and left it in his dwelling when he moved.
You mean
Does
plumber?
anybody?
Yeah, you said plumber.
You said something else.
Yeah.
You said plumber.
Okay, I didn't hear
I
that.
said
Sorry.
It's okay. Another Reddit user who moved into a home formerly owned by a NASA engineer from the 1960s found a couple of interesting items used for different purposes. Old bazooka ammo, wood crates were used as a hardware shelving in the garage, and old concrete pieces that framed his bushes in the front yard were actually old NASA parking lot dividers.
This guy was at work like, fuck you, you don't pay me enough, I'm just going to take shit. Goes out to the parking lot, starts putting him in the trunk of his car.
One that I will probably leave behind if I ever buy a house and decide to sell it. This find didn't come from inside a house, but instead a purchase of a piece of furniture. A Reddit user bought a bedroom furniture set, and when they started filling the drawers of the table with items, they noticed a heck of a lot of eyes staring back at them. Not only were they eyes staring, but they weren't moving. The bottom of the drawer was lined with googly eyes glued on the wood. So I thought that was pretty fucking fun.
Fuck?
Just open up a drawer and there's like all these googly eyes.
Some weird people out there.
Yeah.
Scary.
Another Reddit user posted a story about a family friend who bought a house in Germany. The house appeared fine until he tried to drill holes in the wall. Each time he tried drilling, his drill bit got destroyed. Later, he used an industrial drill and bits to drill holes, but then he decided to knock out one of the walls to build a larger living room and office. As he removed the plaster, the name Maria appeared. After continuing to peel the plaster, he figured out the name appeared on a gravestone. He guessed that the entire house was made of grey stone, scavenged after the war.
That's horrible.
Jeez.
Yeah, well, you do what you do to survive in times of war and shit like that.
Yeah.
So that's not too
Originally,
weird.
when you said Germany and started drilling in walls, I thought he was going to like find Joseph Fritzl or something. Or like drilled a hole and then a penis would start popping out every time.
Yeah, like it's the doctor's case from Hermann Göring. Maybe that. But some unusual things often get revealed behind walls in homes, but this is one beyond the bizarre. A homeowner on Reddit revealed when they had their plumbing redone, plumbers found a half-eaten hot dog in one of the bedroom walls. Perhaps the hot dog wasn't cooked to the desired temperature of the consumer.
Jesus Christ.
Ew.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Gotta
about
wonder
that
how
one.
many construction workers just chucking shit in your walls.
I just think it's one of those things like, you're eating a hot dog. Oh, fuck, the boss is coming. Just chuck it in the wall.
Yeah. No one will
And
ever
just
notice.
pretend to work. Yeah, something like that. Now, this one's hard to believe that someone would actually leave behind like taxidermied animals, but one Reddit user posted that they found 4 life-sized taxidermied tigers on the top floor of their place. And by the
That
way,
would be cool.
those go for if they are actual tigers and they're done pretty well. I looked it up. These go for around 2,500 to like 3,000. So that there's like if they find 4, he's got a good like solid 10,000 right there.
Yeah,
Dollars or
Yeah.
euros?
dollars.
Yeah, dollars. Well,
Okay.
euros, dollars, like somewhere
euros
around
a
that. It's
dollar.
not gonna be. It's not gonna be that. It's gonna.
And
be
it is
auctioned off.
technically a euro dollar. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
The euro is a dollar. It's called the euro dollar. But we call it the euro. But technically it's still a dollar. That's why they also have cents. Euro cents.
Yeah.
My God, woman, do you know nothing?
Yeah, but I was just clarifying there's a lot of currencies out there. So
Yeah.
There's only 5
but-
that matter. And then the rest of them are just like, why bother? Like, honestly. You might as well give me a pile of dirt.
I guess that's true. There is only actually 5 that.
Like, not
Like,
even. There's like
go
3 that
yeah.
actually matter. The euro, the US
yeah.
dollar, and the pound. Everything
think
else
the
is
yen-
irrelevant.
Whoa! You can't say that because the yen is pretty important as well.
Okay,
Not
the
because
yen-
it's widely used, but because of how many people they have and how many currency there is in use. So
True.
the yen,
And
I think the yen is one of the most important ones.
And the Chinese yuan, I guess, sure. But that's it.
Yeah. Now, the last one that I found, I actually thought was somewhat hilarious. I think Alex will definitely appreciate this one. That's why I kept him for last.
Blow
Now,
up, doll. Blow up, doll.
No. New homeowners in Shenandoah Valley of Virginia got a surprise of historical significance when they started removing old wallpaper in the house. Behind the wallpaper were messages from Confederate soldiers and from Union soldiers. Now, the first line read, "Rebels."
Hey, fuck
if
you, guy.
Wait, hold on. This is fucking funny.
Okay.
Rebels, if you can hear, we will whip you for sure. And the Confederates, they responded with, if you do, it will be the first time, you impotent scoundrels. which was signed, by the way, a rebel who has given you a many sound thrashings. The Union soldier came back with, "You are cowards, nothing but a thief, the robbers of millions of women and children, you good-for-nothing skunk." And so that's the end of that fucking line. So the homeowners left the graffiti as is, just placing plexiglass over it to preserve it. I thought that was pretty fun.
That's
to-
pretty
Yeah.
cool. Like,
It's
that's
like
a
a
very
back and
one-off
forth.
feature.
Yeah, exactly. I don't think there's like 2 out. Like this guy just sneaked in and wrote back. That's
Hey, guy,
that takes
fuck you.
fucking balls. Yeah.
Damn, it's like wartime trash talk.
Yeah. Well, it's the same. We brought this up once. What was it again? Dot was
Roddy?
here.
What was it? Roy? No.
Yeah, Roy.
Roy was
Roy
here?
was here or something, I think. That was one of your episodes. Can't remember
Yeah, I
which one it
think
was in,
so.
though.
But then they were different ones because
no, yeah, but, that was in one of the war soldier.
Kilroy was here.
Yeah, Kilroy was here because they just all the British soldiers or whatever just kept putting. Kilroy
Yeah, and they was like a bald guy with his nose hanging over the wall, and then they said like, Kilroy.
And then all the Germans are like, "Who's Kilroy? We need to find this man."
Yeah, that was on the the tunnel.
Oh yeah,
but it's basically the first. It's basically the first meme known to man because it says on Wikipedia, Kilroy was here is a meme that became popular during World War II. Typically seen in graffiti, its origin is debated, but the phrase and the distinctive accompanying doodle became associated with GIs in the 1940s. A bald-headed man, sometimes depicted as having a few hairs, with a prominent nose peeking over the wall with his fingers clutching the wall. Kilroy was an American equivalent of the Australian Foo was here, which originated in World War I. Mr. Chad, or just Chad, was the version that became popular in the United Kingdom. The character of Chad may have been derived from a British cartoonist in 1938, possibly predating Kilroy. Was here, according to Dave Wilton. Sometime during the war, Chad and Kilroy met, and the spirit of Allied unity emerged when the British drawing appeared over the American phrase. Other names of the characters include Smo, Clem, Flywheel, Private Snoops, Overby, The Jeep, and Sapo. According to Jules Panetta, the outrageous graffiti was not so much what it said, but where it turned up. It is not known if there was an actual person named Kilroy who's inspired this graffiti, although there have been claims over the years.
I'm Kilroy.
Yeah, it's basically just a fucking. They
Troll.
would try to get into the like most difficult or like best surveyed areas and write it somewhere. So imagine if you're like in a military complex and like you would find during the war Kilroy was here, then you would know
in the middle of your base.
Like the enemy has been like literally here, because nobody else would do that besides the enemy. It's basically like a one-up sort of game, I think. But I have always enjoyed that.
It's like the dick measuring thing, right? You're trying to like instill fear in them, but not really doing any harm to anyone. You're like, but my dick's bigger than yours because I snuck into your base and I'm gonna scare you. Oh, fuck you.
It's actually, yeah.
That's
all right.
flexing.
Well, that's it for all the things people found in their houses.
Quite sad. No one found some like old sex toys or something.
I mean, if you find that, you're just gonna keep on playing with it. Why waste a good dildo? I say.
Exactly. Give it a good licking.
Ew.
Lick it clean and then jam it up there.
Yeah.
There's my top tip of the week.
Dildos.
If you find a secondhand dildo, give it a lick and then pop it back in.
There you go. And my top tip for the week is just jump straight to cannibalism, just from the get-go. Just don't wait for anything even worse to happen. Whenever you can cannibalize, just cannibalize people.
Especially children, because their meat's a bit more succulent and like soft. They're not as like muscly and
always
a bit more tender.
Always eat the ass first, because I feel like that's the best meat.
Even if you're not a cannibal, just eat the ass first anyway.
Yeah. Ali, what's your top tip for the people?
Get some acid and pour it into your ears after listening to this. That's about it.
Please don't do that. We do not condone that.
No, I might. I might agree a little bit. Just see some good old videos. All right. Well, on that note, thank you all for listening, of course. And we got some socials. For example, the Discord server where you can watch us live anytime we fucking want to. Is linked in the description down below. We also got an Instagram and a Twitter page. What are those, my lovelies?
The Instagram is @random.podcast, so at.random.podcast.
And on Twitter, we're at_randompod. And we also have a YouTube channel, which is doing surprisingly well for no reason whatsoever.
Is it?
Yeah, man. We're getting subscribers and listens going through the roof the last like 2 months. All we do is we just upload this episode you're probably hearing on Spotify or Ghana, whatever you listen on. It's the same thing, but on YouTube. But I don't know. Go check it out. Subscribe to us.
I hate the YouTube culture. Like that's the cancel culture, right?
Yeah, I don't know, but I don't care.
Have you seen
if we
Twitter?
get a few more people, we can monetize it. We're not that far off, so just keep fucking signing up and subscribing. Although we swear so much, we never will be able to.
Stop.
Yeah.
Desubscribe right now. I don't want you. If you come back next week, I'll stop on this podcast. Actually, that might make you guys more subscribers. Anyway, well, thank you for listening. Maybe we'll be back next week. I don't know. No, it's every 2 weeks now. It's right.
Yeah, we're all too busy. We're getting old.
Yeah. Gotta give you that week to cannibalize somebody. But you enjoy your cannibalization of grandma. And just fucking go nuts for 2 weeks and we'll be back then. All right. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.